Hello everyone, welcome back to Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and today we have a special matchup for you. We have two crowd favorites. We have Blade 55555, a very popular streamer. Streams mainly on kind of like at night in the American time zones. Would highly recommend. Very chill stream. Is a Dry Arabia enjoyer. Usually doesn't like maps that aren't wide open, and likes to play a little bit fast-paced, so I'm excited to see what we see out of him. Today he is playing as the Teal in the French. Across the way in this matchup, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Don Artie, playing as the Holy Roman Empire in the pink. Don is a great guy, pops up, and he's also a streamer as well. I believe he just streams pretty much whatever he's playing at the current moment. Would highly recommend it. Very, very chill stream. Plays some great music while he's playing. So if you see him around on Twitch, we'll leave both of these gentlemen's links in the description below, and I'm sure you probably already know both players. This matchup, the stats aren't too enticing. The French have a slight edge at around a 54% win rate. I'm not even going to pop it up on the screen because it's such a low sample size at Conqueror and above. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more time before I actually pop up these stats, just so they're not too misleading. Of course, that comes into play with the HRE aren't the strongest right now, especially early on. The French are a very, very good position. I think early on in Age 2 they're good, of course, because of those French knights. And then late game, because of the Red Palace and their TCs just become mini machine guns and pretty much everything that they put up in terms of keeps and everything. So I think French is in a very good spot right now. Now, of course, I am no pro, so take that with all a grain of salt, but I will say in this matchup, just off the eye test of civilizations, I'm going to give it to the French, but we'll have to wait and see. As I mentioned, Blade is definitely someone who enjoys a little bit of that early aggression, does not want to be seeing an hour-long game out of himself, so we're going to be seeing probably a little something. I would not be surprised if we see that cavalry school, which is almost stock standard at this point, but because I don't think that Blade would do trade. He's never been a trade enjoyer, so I don't think he's going to be throwing down that Chamber of Commerce. We'll have to wait and see. There's the School of Cavalry, so we're not going to be seeing any trade in today's game, at least not for a good long while. We have the Arcane Chapel going down, and before I describe the position of this Arcane Chapel, if you are enjoying the content and you are enjoying this gameplay itself and 1v1s, I'm going to mix it up between 1v1s, 2v2s, maybe 3v3s, who knows. I haven't really gotten too many requests for that, but you never know. If you are enjoying it, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out immensely. And if so, and if you are so inclined, comment away. If you're made this far and you want to comment, let me know what you would like to see as a buff to the HRE in the next patch. Let me know. Unless you don't think they need a buff, that's totally fine as well. But let me know what you would think. For me personally, I would definitely like to see a little bit of a difference in landmarks. I think that the Arcane Chapel is so good, but it's also very inhibitive of gameplay style. I think mine work get a little bit of a boost, and same with Burgrave, or maybe just change them up a little bit to make them just a little bit more efficient at what they do. It doesn't seem like the pros usually opt into that Minework Palace unless they're doing some sort of specific strategy or specific map. It just seems that the Arcane Chapel is just so good, but then it also kind of tunnels them down one way of playing, right? You go Arcane Chapel into Regulus Cathedral, you fight for the relics. If you don't get the relics, you lose GG next. So it does feel a little bit cumbersome, and they're also very susceptible to raids, which I'm sure we'll be seeing quite soon. Remember, at that 4:30-ish mark, you're going to want to make sure that you have something prepared for these knights, because they're going to be arriving at that 4:45 mark, and it looks like Don Artie is up to the challenge, already getting those hardened spearmen, and we're going to be seeing a stable out of him as well. So Don's also known for his aggression as well, so this should be a good one. Might be a very scrappy game, and I can't pass up the chance to cast a Blade and Don Artie game. It's just too good to pass up. Let's check out the relics on this side. So it looks like the Don did get a little bit of a nice relic spawn over here. This one's slightly farther away. This one is definitely right down the middle. I'm not sure. It looks, just from the eye test, it looks like more advantageous for Blade, but you never know. We do see a scout that gets sniped, which is actually kind of devastating. You can see Blade immediately goes to start making one yet again, but that will take up just a second of delay on the on knights. So if Blade was thinking about going for a bunch of quick knights, and also I tell a lie because he's getting stoned. So we're seeing 2 TCs, the standard French build. If he snipes this scout, though, that'd be absolutely wild. Oh my god, he's going to do it. No. They had not reholstered the spear just in time. Blade, though, moving out. Looks like he did get 1 villager. It looks like that one is, yeah, rest in peace, right on top of the deer. Not what you love to see, but at least you're not alone alone there. Oh, actually disappears, and the entire carcass disappears as well. So they're one the same. Now, the knight is only 1 knight coming out. We see some archers already on the way for Blade, but doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any early aggression from Blade. But on the other side, so flip exactly what I said around. Looks like Don Artie's getting into the mix. 2 horsemen and 7 spearmen are on the way to Blade's base. So we're going to have to respond to something. We can see that they're already out in the backhand side, and they're scouting for the second TC. They know it's coming. You can see by the stone outcropping over here, there's enough resources to get it, and you can see Blade's now going for all the wood he's going to be needing, and that's going to be about 400 wood. So we'll have to wait and see if he's able to acquire that or not. Now it looks like Blade's going to be able to hold off some of these with this 1 knight and a few archers up front. But the ones behind his base are going to be quite annoying. Blade's going to have to probably put this TC way closer than he would have liked to originally. And honestly, Don is going to find a lot of openings. Don is going really all in for this. 9 spearmen and now 4 horsemen. 2 more are on the way. So this is going to be a little bit of a spicy opening here for the HRE player. Trying to get that early aggression, trying to give back to what the French normally do. Blade does sneak out a few villagers on the backhand side as Don makes the entire parade around with the front side. And we'll get this hopefully safely. Let's see if Don's able to scout this out or if he's going to start to dive in on here. That being said, if Don doesn't see this second TC, he knows it's going to be around here somewhere. So he might start to check every little nook and cranny. And that is what this actually might give it away. If he sees this over here, he might actually go scout it. And that's exactly what he's doing. Look at that. He saw the Blade. Oh, nope. He's actually trying to corner the knight. And now Blade, he should run it up this way. And we're also seeing this is a nice harass over here from Don. Here, it looks like he already got 1 villager killed at this point. But if he doesn't chase this, Blade smartly turns his knight upwards and is going to be safe and sound. This town center is going to get up. A lot of damage is being done over here, but only 1 villager actually goes down for Blade. So it's an absolute win at that point. And this knight is soaking up so much time. We are going to see a spearman is going to be beating it, but some nice micro there. And these horsemen are trying to do some damage. But this is exactly what you want to see if you're facing 8 horsemen and 12 spearmen. If you are Blade, they're chasing down these units over here. These front are going to have to move for sure. But Don's actually being a little bit cautious, not actually deciding to go in just yet. And there we go, another surround. I mean, the biggest thing with this kind of raiding party is that these horsemen, while they are effective, they do go down quite quickly to archers. And on top of that, they don't take down villagers quite as quick as maybe a knight would go in. Obviously, a knight does it in 2 shots. These take a whole bunch more. But now Don's army is split up, which is not going to be the best for him. Blade's actually walling off. A wall enjoyer himself, it seems like. Kind of channeling his inner divine, making sure that he is safe and sound to expand all he wants. And for those of you that don't understand that reference, divine is known for mass TCs at this point. So he does really enjoy the late game, which is why that's to explain, because I know that not everyone understands kind of those jokes that kind of go around, especially on Twitch and in the kind of professional chat. So just wanted to throw that out there. I hated myself that I had to explain that. I didn't want to explain that at all. I don't know why I did that, but here we are. We're 9 minutes in, and I'm not recasting this game yet again. I've already recasted it twice because I've messed up in the first couple minutes, so this one's staying in. So shout out to everyone that made it this far and heard that horrific explanation of a joke. We're moving on. We have some berries out front being collected by Don. Don has a very large army, 12 horsemen and more on the way. So Don is not messing around. Got his economy set up and he's looking to punish, but his army is now pulling back to deal with just this 1 knight. It seems like doesn't really like this guy running around, and will finally trap him over here. This knight should be going down, but he's going to be taking a villager with him, it looks like. There they... Nope, it's a fake charge. And eventually we'll be going down to these horsemen, but now might be getting some damage on this. Nope, just another run by. So Badon actually could probably move these forces out 16 and 14 strong, and probably could do some damage to the second TC if he finds it. He might even be able to take it down in one go. We see that chivalry is on the way for Blade, and some archers are coming out. But we're just massing this army out front here. I'm not exactly sure of the game plan, but I'm sure it's going to be moving out quite soon, because that is a whole bunch of units. That is a strong feudal age army from the HRE player, and it's also floating a decent amount of food and gold. So actually this could be a way so he can get up to that castle age, and knock it all in by the French player. And here is this army. That's enough spears to deal with this. Ain't no way. And they do take the brunt of the forces, but there's so many horsemen here. This blacksmith will be sacrificed. It will not be going up, and that is a-okay. And it looks like the horsemen are just running in. They actually did secure a few scouts. They got a few spearmen as well. But as you can see, they're really starting to do damage. There goes the blacksmith. Another villager goes down, so 3 in total. And Don's actually going to take the front side berries. So Don is not messing around in the slightest, showing aggression and all the right places. Gets the berries out front. And is there a prelate in there too? There is. There's a prelate out front, making sure that these horsemen are completely topped off. So Don is showing the aggressive HRE style, is actually building a tower out front in the feudal age. Yes, Blade is ahead in villagers, but remember, on the back end side, Don has that arcane chapel, so he can be getting a whole bunch of boosts to all these villagers all around. But it looks like he's going to be going up to Castle Age quite soon. We can flip this back over here, and it has all the resources he needs. Blade is floating that much gold, but does not have the food just yet. The French do struggle with food, but Blade has these deer over here. It still has berries within his thing as well. And a Burgrave palace is going down out front. This game is just getting better and better as it goes. It's aging like a fine wine. Don Artie dropping the forward Burgrave Palace. This is fantastic. At 12 minutes, the prelate's here. He's actually going to be collecting some relics just in case, just to get some extra gold in so that he can start to produce. It looks like he's going to be dipping out this way. So Blade's going to have to be dealing with some aggression out front, because at this point, Don's just going to be able to start to really cook. Here they go, right back onto these berries, and the Burgrave Palace is out. What will be the first? It looks like it's going to be the upgrade first, and then men-at-arms are on the way. It looks like Don's going to also chuck in a relic in this tower to really secure this. And now Blade's aware of what's going down, and he must be laughing to himself. I can only imagine what this was like. If this was streamed, he's probably just laughing and be like, what on earth is that out front? And there we go. Don's actually taking this engage into this spear, which it does seem like to be a rough one. You can see that the horsemen are going down quite quickly, but now there's Castle Age men-at-arms in the mix, and they will be able to tank forever. A knight is back here trying to do some damage. It does actually snipe a villager down, but it does go down, so a nice trade there for Don. And now Don can start to produce men-at-arms at a very, very nice clip. And this tower with the relic in tow is going to be able to do a lot of damage to anything that comes in that's not armored. We do see that Siege Engineering is on the way from Blade, knows he has to do some damage to this thing out front, and there's already 5 men-at-arms out in the map, and more will surely be on the way. Needs even more, needs more and more food, so that's the priority at the current moment, so he can start to produce more and more of these men-at-arms. Getting that +1 range defense as well, so these men-at-arms are going to be doing a lot of damage. And there's the knights. The knights are coming out. We have no more spearmen actually involved, and he's going to be quickly able to get inside. You can see just how much damage that these do, especially the one with the relic inside. It does start to really get going, but there's a lot of villagers out front. I actually would love to see Don pull them back to maybe a safer berry patch back here, or anything back here. It looks like Blade also has the boar in range. This is a very nice setup from Blade. Does have the advantage for sure, and now we have 9 men-at-arms on the map. There's 2 rams coming out, so actually Don could actually stay up here if he really wanted to, and make sure, and range defense level 2 is coming in. These men-at-arms are going to be able to dive whatever they want. 11 have been built, and we're going to see what the next selection will be. It looks like maces are coming in so they can do even more damage, and the guild hall is going up quite quickly. 22 villagers have been selected to put on that in the backside of the base, so Blade just knows if he can survive whatever the hell this is, he will be in a very good spot. More and more are coming out. They have the mace upgrade. They had the +2 ranged armor is about to be in tow, and they are going to be doing a lot of damage. Here's these villagers that are going to be sent back where they're going to be going. It looks like now there's the Castle Age ding. It looks like Don's actually going to be sending these out. He's actually going to find a perfect opportunity. Going to be stealing more berries from Blade. Blade's going to have to pull these back really quickly. Does get a nice surround onto a few of them, and we'll be taking down at least one. Actually, no. They all kind of scatter out a little bit, which is super unfortunate. Does get one just in time, so it is worth. And now these men-at-arms, 13 strong, are going to be taking down this food. No, Blade, you cannot leave your base. Don does not want that, and he sees this over here, and now he's moving this out, and that's when Blade's going to take the opportunity to take down this forward encampment over here. And Blade's actually moving everyone back quite quickly, knows he needs to keep these towers up, and there are the rams. The rams turning around quite quickly, do not want that smoke. That's a lot of men-at-arms, 17 in total. And let's see what the next move is here. I think the next move is definitely to produce some rams of Don's. For Don to produce some rams, floating a lot of gold at the current moment, does not have enough food in the map to actually produce these men-at-arms at a constant rate. Now we have 20 on the map, and there is even some crossbowmen in Blade's army, so that's very nice. Sacred sites are actually the move for Don, and now we're going to be seeing him engage. A lot of men-at-arms are kind of stuck over here behind, and now they're starting to move in. They are starting to take out some knights, which is a very advantageous trade in this positioning, and not much damage is being done by these archers, but the crossbowmen in here are doing a lot of damage. These maces are crunching the knights' forward armor, and it's always a good trade when French knights are going down in the trade for kind of more of the cheaper men-at-arms. Now, they can't run away just as easily, so does lose 10 men-at-arms. So, decent fight there for Blade. So, we'll have to wait and see what the response will be. And there we go. More clattering happening, and these men-at-arms are taking down the front knights. But these knights are able to soak up so much damage, and now they're moving back in, and they're trying to fall back completely. It looks like Blade is trying to desync the sacred site, and Don is looking to respond. But it looks like that at this point, Blade is sitting in the driver's seat now, has these rams out front, was able to fully cut them off. Landsknechts are coming out, and they're going to have to repel this. And it looks like Blade will be able to take this down, and they're just being sent to their death at this point. The archers are such a good way into the Landsknechts, and now Blade is taking back his gold. He does not want to deal with this at all, and that will be all she wrote for this forward base of Don Artie's. That is going to be a rough one, but you never know. I've seen Don respond from this. And respond from positions like this in tow. So we'll have to wait and see if he can get back into the game, or this is going to be it. The sacred site will be decapped, so Blade is safe from the shenanigans of Don Artie up front, and now it's just going to be a full-on eco game. Remember the HRE? Never count them out though when you're ecoing up. Don did get all the way up. Did he get some relics in tow? He has one relic, but it looks like that will be dropped right there. And it looks like he's going to be picking up one else. Is he going to drop it off? Where is he going to drop them off? I don't really know. Honestly, I can't find the relics. I wish they had a little thing, but this one's gone, and it appears this one or this one is gone. So they're stashed somewhere. I just don't know where yet. I will find them eventually. I can't do this the whole time. It's okay. They're gone. It's fine. This one was definitely selected out here, and that one is done and dusted. We see horsemen are on the way because the Burgrave is down. So down a landmark is Don Artie, which is going to be really rough. But Blade's going to be moving out and knows that he's at least going to have 3 relics that he can take, because there's maybe he doesn't know about this one just on this other map just yet, but he will very soon. The rams are moving out, can actually go for a landmark snipe if he's so inclined, and we see a lot more horsemen are coming out for Don. There's going to be 9 total, which is a nice switch up into this because these are all crossbowmen, and the horsemen are going to do so well into them. So if that is the case, the full-on switch up, this is a nice play here for Don, knowing fully well that Blade's going to be assuming that he's going to be going mass man-at-arms behind this. And he's actually doesn't have too much to actually deal with them. Only 11 hardened spearmen. So if he can micro this well or catch this ranged mass out, he does have a fighting chance to get into the later game. We're at the 20-minute mark, and usually these players will GG out quite quickly. They don't think there's a chance back in, so I am here for it, and I'm ready to see if Don can bring this back. We have the canceled sows coming in, so Blade's getting everything he really needs to start the raiding process. We have even more horsemen are coming on the way, but Don has not revealed this army switch up just yet. And I like this actually here. He's actually pulling out the men-at-arms, and there's one of the relics over here. It's a spring hole emplacement, so they actually do so well into these knights. Look at that. The knight actually might go down. No. Oh, the late. Oh my goodness, wasn't expecting that fully. So it looks like Blade smells blood in the water, getting more rams, and does not want this thing to go any later. You really can't let the HRE sit back and macro, because it will, no matter how good your civ is, they are so good in that Imperial Age. So you do not want to let them just sit and idly by. So I do like this. It looks like Blade's going to be taking out this massive outpost over here. But Don's just sitting waiting. He sees what's going on, and if he can snipe this ranged mass, he'll be in a very good spot. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to be sniping anything just yet. And this will not have the emergency repairs because it's not in range of a TC. And there it is. All the horsemen are now revealed, and they get a good surround on a lot of very vulnerable range mass. And this is exactly the kind of fight I was mentioning that Don would need to get back into this, and he does find it. This value of army values is way skewed in terms of Blade, but with this switch up, and Don kept it secret for this long, this is such good value for these horsemen. They're tracking down these very expensive crossbowmen as they go. And look at this. All the knights were cleaned up, and now there's a whole bunch more units running their way over here. And there's more knights. They're going to be clattered by these clubbed men-at-arms. But there's still a lot of crossbowmen on the map. So they're going to be dealing a lot of damage to these men-at-arms. These men-at-arms are trying to do their best to frontline for these spearmen. So these horsemen can get in on the back on these arbs, but it's no luck, no dice. The rams have pulled back. They got their kill, and now they're going to be kind of sitting out front. Blade does still have 18 of these, so even with the perfect fight, Dom was not able to kind of end it as he would have liked to, at least cut those down into the single digits. But Don has done a good job of kind of moving out across the map, making sure he has plenty of resources everywhere he goes, gets more trees, gets some more of these, even has a relic over here stashed, so he's feeling decently well. Blade, though, is up over 113 villagers. I'm not sure if Don can actually hold this off any longer, but we can see that there's even more. There's now 5 more horsemen are on the way, so it does feel like he has a chance. And honestly, this mass does have a chance with the right engage. This isn't that spooky of a force as you would imagine with this deficit up here, and that is the power of the HRE. And remember, there will be emergency repairs coming in, and there is the first shot coming out on this ram. It looks like there they go. They're going to try to sneak and get some quick damage onto it. And a cheeky little emergency repairs goes down, and Don kills off one of the rams before any real damage is being done. And the men-at-arms quickly turn around onto those. Does save that, and Blade immediately makes a new ram. Goes, no, don't do that. Not allowed in the slightest. More arbs are on the way. They can one-shot pretty much anything, armored or not, with 30 of them in tow. And Blade's just looking for anything that he can possibly go after with these rams. He knows he can't just dive this TC, which a lot of people would do in this situation, especially myself. I know that I would get a little bit anxious and be like, come on, there's no way I don't win this fight. Let me just A-click and win the game. That is not the case, and here we go. The last major engage. These horsemen are finding their way onto these arbs, which is exactly where you want to see. The knights are getting poked down by 1,000 spears, and let's see if these horsemen can get a surround. That'll be the best, but it doesn't look like they actually can. And Don will probably have to reload and try again another day, but actually he's going all in on this one. The knights do go down quite quickly because look at how many pink forces are in, and now the horsemen are almost getting a surround there. They're trying their best, but this arb micro is so good from Blade, really paying off. but they're being chased down, and this is a very expensive force being poked down by a thousand cuts, and every time a knight rolls up, he gets completely evaporated. And Don with a great hold there. That's why you can never count the HRE out. Yes, Blade's still in a very, very good position, but as you can see, Don Artie is slowly catching up in villagers. And remember, those villagers count for even more when it's the HRE because the prelates are just going to town on them. And Don's actually surrounded these rams and goes, you know what? 1,000 resources, don't care. They're off the map. I'm done with it. And Don is showing that you can always be in the game. You can always find a way back if you really are so inclined, and we love to see that. And there it is, a mangonel coming out. A mangonel into this force is going to be devastating. There's no knights in the mix, nothing to really get on top of it. We don't see a springhold or anything like that. And Don's collecting a lot of stone, so we're going to be seeing a keep be thrown up, but it looks like Blade's going to beat him to it and throw a keep down on this gold mine. So I think Don will eventually run out of gold, which is probably will be his demise unless he can take a nice fight or throw up a keep before his opponent. But I don't think that's going to be the case because he doesn't have enough of it, and he's going to see this out of the corner of his eye, I'm sure. And maybe he can throw one down up front after a nice engage, and that will be at least get him another 8,000 gold. Does have some passive gold with the 2 relics, but not nearly enough. And there it is. Blade's looking to see what he's got going up against him. And there we go. The horsemen unfortunately run headlong into all of these, and there they go. They saw the mangonel. Does take out that front line though, and the red palace is going up for Blade. So Blade's army was so little because he was floating enough resources to get that red palace, and that red palace makes all of these French defenses so much better. So while Don Artie might be able to hold off offensive attacks, I'm not sure if he's going to defensive attacks. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything, but gets a cheeky gold down here, which I'm sure Blade's not even thinking that he would actually expand that far out. And there's even more villagers going that way. So remember to always scout if you're on this side, but at the same time, there's always a way back into it. And there's the ding. We have rams coming in as well. Probably trying to take out this keep over here to secure himself even more gold if he wants to get to that late game. But with that secured gold on over here, if something were to find this, it would be brutal. And there's the keep. Don's looking to really secure this gold. Knows that this is his last chance to keep him in the game and needs to protect these at all costs. This red keep though is brutal. You can't really break through, and look at every single keep from there. There it is. You can just see it just has all these little emplacements. It's brutal. On all keeps and town centers, look at that. Having arbs everywhere you go is just a French masterpiece, and is one of the reasons why they're just so good at the current time. Because if you get to the late stage, even against an HRE, you still think that the French are sitting in a very good spot. That being said, you got to give it to Don for this one. Staying in, really grinding away, getting those villagers all the way up, and has a pretty spooky looking army, including some springholds coming out to deal with the 2 springholds over there. That's about it. If Don can get up to age 4 though, before an engage happens, then he might be sitting in a very, very good spot. It has the prelate over here, so they're working hard for sure. Has that +1 mining as well coming in. Really needs to get up as much gold as he possibly can. Does have the gold, is actually suffering on the food side of things, but a full farm transition is in place under that Achaean chapel. Blade knows this is the time. This is what he needs to do. He needs to engage as quickly as possible. 2 scouts are leading these golden helmeted arbs across the battlefield. We even have some rams in the mix. That's why everyone's going so slow. When you select everything, including siege, it goes just about this slow. Don looks like he's spending all of his resources on defense, which I do like this at this point. Getting that siege engineering as well to see if he can make them on the fly. And it looks like these mangonels are going to be protected way back here. Don now sees his opponent has entered the chat. And if he can get a good mangonel shot, here we go. 3 mangonels. Oh, they're short for no reason. A nice mangonel shot over here, and the springholds are in place. The springholds go down quite quickly. Another mangonel shot is coming in, and they're doing a lot of damage. It pings the left side of the arb, and look at that HRE force. They absolutely eat up that front line. There's only 40 arbs left in the map, and that's all they have. And let's see. No, it looks like Don's going to say, like, relax, no worries. Let's build up to get to this age 4. We had a nice engage there, but 3 mangonels did some serious damage on that front. So this just goes to show you, once you get to the late game, it's very hard to break down anyone, especially at this level of play. Now, Blade's going for a Sacred Site victory. Goes, you know what? I'm sick of dealing with you. You have to come out to face me, and I have all these keeps scattered about. Blade is finally going to be aware of this other keep over here. There's no way he's actually going to get this down. No, he's gonna see it and probably start to do some damage to it. This is a major point of contention. If Blade can get Don off this gold, that will be brutal. Look at the arbs are already preemptively spread out. They're like, I don't want to deal with that in the slightest. But Blade actually might get this up. No. It looks like it's gonna be seen, but it won't be taken down by just that arrow fire. So Don's gonna have to deal with this if he doesn't see it quickly. And there we go, another engage is coming in. Who cares about the keep wars? And it looks like the horsemen are absorbing all of those front line, and the mangonel is getting some nice shots in on this arb mass. And once they take out this one thing, there we go, they're moving in onto the arbs. A lot of soldiers are moving out, and the springholds are going down quite quickly. The arbs are so tanky. Look at that. Look at that defense coming into play, and there it is. There is the arbs emplacement coming in from the keep as well, and there's no way Don can really get out of this. I think Don's going to be kind of stuck here. He did fight super well, got enough gold and everything, but this arb mass is so scary. 44 and 8 more are on the way. Blade can instantly replace them. Look at the amount of food he has sitting here, and there is the GGs. Well played by Don. Kept it close, but Blade closed it out with those arbs, and really well played there from the French. French late game is pretty spooky right now, so if you guys did enjoy this, please do like and subscribe. It'd mean a lot to me, and on top of that, I hope you guys have a great night.